Silva is a putting machine, quite literally. I think Silva has everything that your game needs right now to be competitive, especially at these two courses. Her game is very much highlighted.
Shooting the course record on moving day is going to give Missy a lot of momentum going into the final round.
I feel pretty confident that Kristin is going to work something out, and she is without a doubt going to be in contention.
Owen is always super fun to watch, having a good time out there putting on a show, and she's tied for the lead in a good position to get another win this season.
Hello and welcome to the final round of the 2024 Green Mountain Championships presented by Smuggler's Notch Resort and Barbasol. It's Championship Sunday and I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're your two hot geese.
Honk.
Honk. We're going to try to calmly bring you the action today with our calming teas and just general nice chilly fall vibes out there. I don't know, felt a little sleepy out there. We'll see if we can spice it up with some really good disc golf.
It was a day you wanted to be inside reading a book, like pretty windy,
yeah,
a little chilly at first. My sunshine, leaves.
So in disc golf land, owned Scoggins is 71% fairway. It's 61% circle tune regulation, 85% C1X putting.
Silva Saarinen, 83% of the time in the fairway. She really is throwing the disc well. Her Circle 1X putting stats are a little lower than you would expect, but she's hitting a bunch of Circle 2 putts as well, giving herself a lot of looks for birdie from there.
So crazy that Owen and Silva are tied right now at 17 down. Missy, Gannon, one stroke off the lead, 81% fairway hit, 67% Circle 2 regulation, and 87% C1X putting with that course record at Brewster yesterday.
And Kristin Tattar already popped off a couple of really good rounds here on both courses. 79% fairway hits through round 3, 77% of her Circle 1X putts dropping. She's not quite hitting as many putts as normal, but she is playing very steadily.
Steadily indeed. Hole 1 is a par 4, 595 feet, teeing from out of bounds. If you don't cross, there's a drop zone. I think we're going to see these ladies cross. Most common error is to go OB left, I would say. You could also push too far. They extended this basket and really snugged up the OB behind it in the cove, if you will. Power backhand followed by power forehands, how you get it.
Los Angeles, California, possessing a share of a one-stroke lead. Let's give a warm welcome to Owen Scoggins.
Owen was the only one to birdie this hole in round 1. Very difficult new pin position. Also, the wind is up today. It's the Fox Run Meadows we are more familiar with.
Next up, our other co-leader, joining us from Oiti, Finland. Let's give a warm welcome to Silva Saarinen.
Silva having a really dominant performance this year on the European swing of Elite Series events. She won 5 in a row, 2 of those being Elite Series Pro Tour events across the pond.
She also tied the hot round out here last year, which was 7 down. There was a bunch of people at 7.
Yeah, she seems to really like Fox Run.
Yeah.
Stepping to the box next, from Beacon, New York, let's welcome Missy Gannon.
Missy, one of the most consistent players on tour in the running for the points, overall points for the Pro Tour. She's been playing a little more hot and cold lately. She'll pop off one of the best rounds of the day and then follow it up with one that's not as great as, typical mid-level Missy. But man, I feel like she's growing right now in her disc golf game, if that's even possible. And when she is on, it is crazy.
Yeah, it looked like she couldn't miss yesterday.
Our lead foursome from Tarnu, Estonia. She is a 2-time world champion of disc golf. Let's make some noise for Kristin Tattar.
Kristin, no stranger to winning out here, particularly on this course where we have finished the last forever.
Yeah.
Since we've played this, we always finish here? Yeah.
Always finish here.
And
sometimes it's on a cut day.
Yep.
Today, we're going to go all 4 rounds, all 41 competitors. And like Erika said, this is the Fox run we're more familiar with. The wind is whipping. It's pretty swirly. You can't quite predict in all instances where the wind is coming from or going to.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Own.
Not quite to the cove.
A little bit of tree love there. She's definitely pushing that OB line. She'll have a long look.
Yeah, I think that's a smart play, not going super aggressive here. The corners pinch off at the entrance to the OB cove. Silva doing the same thing here, kind of pitching out to the open.
Do you think White Pants Silva can make a run at the course record, or is that just Haley King?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Hot take.
Feeling pretty good about White Pants Silva. She's my pick.
Kristin with a ton of power on that forehand actually goes deep and pretty far from the pin. That is most likely a bogey. Missy with a great drive. Working this really narrow backhand, though, on the right side. Very tight turnover. A little too tight.
Missy with just a little chip shot up to the green. I said the other day that I feel like the wood chips slow your disc down, but I retract my statement formally.
They ramp them up.
I think they do. A little bouncy.
Springy. Probably depends the type of wood. I bet those are those old springy poplar chips.
Let's see if Silva can get a birdie here. This is within range. She's running it.
So far.
Whew.
You know it's far if she's jumping it. How far was the pin from that tree before? Like within 20
Yeah, I
feet?
I think that tree was inside the circle.
Yeah, all these would have been really great shots in previous years. Own. Gonna birdie it both days.
She was the only birdie in round one, like Erika said. Today, one of only 3.
Wow.
And already speechless.
Already speechless. Just some good golf. What a putt.
This is the second most difficult hole of the day. Yesterday, or the last time we played at Fox, it was the most difficult hole. Shout out to Ella Hansen and Anniken Sten for getting it, and triple shout out for Own doubling it.
Double birdieing.
Double birdieing.
Kristin gonna take the only bogey on the card. Own gonna immediately take the lead. This feels like a big lead change day. We don't often see 4 competitors this tight. Also, Chase card maybe gonna make some moves there a ways back, but still potentially in contention with a really amazing round. Holland Hanley gonna absolutely park hole 3. One of the more difficult par 3s to park in my opinion.
Yeah, getting some tree love, kind of plinkoing her way to the bullseye. And I think we will see a bunch of lead changes today. With the conditions the way they were, how gusty and swirly it was, I think we're going to see some wild stuff happen once we move into the more open portion of the course. Until then, we are in the woods and we are loving it. This is a little short 250-foot par 3. It's downhill as well. I like an overstable mid and just kind of hammer it low down the middle and let it finish to the left side of the circle. We see a lot of putters on this hole as well. Not many forehands. It doesn't really set up for that. And the OB comes up pretty close on the right side. This is an important one to at least have a putt on. This is the shortest hole of the day. It's the most straightforward. But they did add this elevated basket that makes it play a little bit more difficult.
This one, man, I always think this one's going to be easy, and then it never is. Ooh. Silva, did she get a little kiss off that tree?
I don't know. It definitely, the flex had a little more flex than normal.
Missy working that left side, getting caught up, at least in the center.
This played as the second easiest hole of the day. What's nice here is as long as you're not kicking off a tree and going way, way, way left, it's pretty easy to recover your par regardless of where you land.
Or kicking from the left OB right is the worst. Kristin turning that forehand over. Not a great shot, but she's most of the way down there. And definitely feeling the wind on this shot. Kind of felt headwindy mostly. But
Maybe a little left to right cross.
Yeah, Madison's correct, though, that it was particularly swirly today and always invisible.
Yeah, you almost couldn't trust the flags. The ones on the green were definitely the most reliable, but it's crazy. There's so many gaps up the fairway and lines of trees that there would be random spots that were a little bit more gusty and a little bit more blocked. A lot of crazy stuff happening to discs in the air today.
Nothing crazy about Silva jamming another putt. Should be used to that by now.
Casual walk to the basket.
The finish machine. Pending.
Missy with a nice recovery there.
Kristin, 3 strokes back in only 2 holes. Look at that. A tie up at the top again. Fall.
No, all the colors in the background. It's like a painting.
Oh, in sweater weather? Yes, please. And 2 down through 4. It's the best round so far today. Hole 3 is an uphill par 3 at 300 feet. Mandatory on the right that you can miss if you're really trying to yeet something up there. There's an OB line on the right as well, so be careful. Early left, also a bad mistake. So many bad mistakes. Also, there's OB just outside the circle down the hill, so control your speed on the way in. Lots of trees on the putting green.
Yeah, this green is so scary. If you come up short, it's a death putt. The OB is so close behind. Lots of roots here too, so you can't really rely on the ground play. A lot of times it gets caught up. You have to carry the hill in the air. Silva not quite committing all the way to the shot. She's going to be early left. The wind was coming right to left as well, so if you show the underside of that disc, it is getting pushed.
Oh, and a little low, but makes the mandatory and progresses far enough. Yeah, even a look. Risky look, though. Missy. Go ahead.
Even though it's only 300 feet, I find myself reaching for a fairway driver here, maybe even a distance driver.
I go distance.
Oh, really?
It takes I don't know, it's a big rip up the hill.
I throw fairway, but I'm often landing on the short side of the circle. Missy does a great job cresting the hill and landing nice and soft.
This is a really good shot for her thrasher. I mean, she tends to throw those really well no matter what, but you really truly just need a dead straight flight, and not a lot of us have that for 300 feet straight uphill.
Especially with this wind.
Exactly.
Kristin filtering really far left. Thankfully, she looks like she does have a gap. Sometimes that left side can get pretty crowded.
Perfect harp up shot from Kristin, just like we're used to. No, Silva left with not a whole lot of opportunity here. Just going to put this close.
Yeah, even though it was only 300 feet, there was only 6 birdies today. Only 8 people getting to circle 1 in regulation. Oh, I'm going to capitalize on a look. Wow.
How does she do it? Gosh, no wonder she keeps winning. That is nuts.
Just consistent circle 2. 2 for 2 today.
I think I'm upset.
That's such a scary putt, too.
Yeah, she misses that. It's OB for days with a really tough comeback. Missy, absolutely awesome birdie. Again, only 6 competitors getting it. Getting them when she needs them.
Yep, and her first birdie of the day.
Wow. Kristin had the hot round, right, in round 2.
Yep.
A 7 down was the best we saw, and conditions are significantly harder today. It'll be interesting to see what wins this tournament. That's why we're all here. I hope you all have a mug of tea as well.
3 strokes separating the top 3 competitors at this point.
My buddies and I just helped grow the global disc golf community. Check it out. We got our favorite shirts at Quirky Goodies. And a percentage of the sales proceeds go to the Paul Macbeth Foundation. They build great disc golf courses all around the world. I picked up 3 shirts for myself. This one's my favorite. Hey, if you're like me and you're always looking for a discount code, use this one, JomezPro 15. That'll give you 15% off. QuirkyGoodies.com. Buy a shirt, make a difference.
Hole 4 is 475 feet, but it is a very challenging hole. These bushes that you have to throw over blindly on your first shot have gotten so big that a lot of players are considering going up that very narrow left side that we would have never even considered in the past. It's looking wider and wider as our fairways get narrower and narrower and lined with OB. Your second shot is very manageable as long as you're not in that one main bush in the middle of the fairway on the first half. But you find yourself there more often than you would like.
Whoa.
Yeah, not a mistake you want to make here. She's going to have to take it from way back here, maybe potentially even blind. Interested to see if she goes for the green from there.
Missy turning this over nicely. Gonna be dealing with that main bush that's in the way. Silva, barely giving this one enough height. She's going to be in a good spot. Maybe just a touch shorter of where you'd like to be.
Yeah, I used to would have thrown a driver on this hole.
I like a fairway. You see a lot of mids too.
Yeah, I feel like this year with how tall those bushes are, I like to just dump a mid over the top.
Yeah.
Like nice and safe.
Yeah, you're seeing more of that as well as this spiky forehand play that Kristin just did.
Yep.
And then making the second shot bigger. Taking it from the left side, this is not really somewhere where a lot of us practice from.
Huh.
Absolutely rips it into circle 2 and she loves it.
Yeah, she had to probably throw that one as hard as she could. I would say she's every bit of 425-ish. 400 feet from the basket.
Missy having to pitch out. Always a bummer when you get across safely to have to pitch out and work really hard to save your par.
Yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on this approach. And these rocks that are around the basket kind of come into play if you catch one of them on your approach, or especially if you catch one after you skip, you almost always roll away.
True. One time I disappeared into a crack underneath one of them, and I almost had to go back and rethrow the shot.
Because you couldn't find it?
Yeah.
A groundhog hole?
Yeah. No, it was just a little slot. It was crazy. Kristin with a really nice forehand approach shot. Love the forehand play.
Pretty gusty tailwind here at this point. But again, it was swirling. Oh, Missy with a little too much on the approach.
Which is normally not a bad play in a tailwind. See, she seems a little bit surprised. Yeah, it just wasn't. And now the wind's down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wild out there. Owen trying to save a par. Are you kidding me?
What is happening?
Okay.
She's deep in circle 2.
Yeah. What a par save.
I just don't. How do you just make 3 in a row?
I don't know. Look at her go.
That is mind blowing, especially in the wind.
I don't know how to commentate how good that was. Just
wow, and Silva just follows it up.
I mean, yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to get your focus together when you're watching someone shred.
Back-to-back slow mezzes. What a dream.
Yes. Silva for a birdie, though.
Yeah.
Moving up a stroke. More lead. Switching around.
And Missy trying to save a bogey. Some nice putting from lead card here.
Yeah, into a headwind. Looking comfortable and confident.
Kristin for her first birdie of the round to get back to even par. Whoa. Very
hesitant.
Interesting miss. Yeah, not her typical. I don't even want to talk about it. I just want to watch what's happening. This is crazy.
Let's check in with Holland one more time. A few holes ahead on 6. A really nice forehand. It takes some decent power to get up here. It says 265. Plays more like 310.
Ooh. She sneaks it in over the rim to go 1 under par.
Yeah, look how nose up you have to throw that disc. Silva's barely making it over the bushes as well.
Yeah, cool to see that angle just to give people some perspective. Hole 5 is a very difficult downhill par 3, 455 feet. You see some of the biggest throwers in the game get down to the ditch and maybe have a long look at a putt. OB line on the right typically comes more into play as you try to shoot this gap over here. There's an OB line left that comes into play as well if you kind of saw off your hyzer. If you can get into circle 2 on this one, you feel like a hero. Did we see any birdies in round 1? Do you remember? I don't think so. Did we?
Yeah, I think we saw
couple?
one.
It's probably the farthest par 3.
Yeah, we saw one birdie. Oh, Kristin got it. She
Oh
parked
yeah,
it,
she parked. Oh my gosh, I forgot. She absolutely parked it. It was
which is
nuts.
rare.
Usually you see a really good shot maybe get into that ditch or maybe a little bit past it. She parked it.
Yeah, the conditions were much calmer. Having any amount of wind, even if it is a tailwind, this hole just gets infinitely harder. Today we had, I think a majority of the time was a right to left crosswind.
Yes. Ooh, nice shot on throwing that racer and getting
nice little ground play at the
some
end.
good roll, yeah. Silva going to be caught up in that center set of
Shul.
trees. Yeah. Center rough.
Yeah. Kristin trying to get around these trees again, but that left to right wind really not letting that disc flip up.
Was it more right to left? Or was it?
Right to left, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of pushing it over into those bushes. Missy trying to adjust, going really wide, and that looks like a really great adjustment.
That is such a scary shot.
Man, she really took the wind read and did a whole lot with that. That was her ESP Zeus. Whoa.
Trusting that disc.
Really awkward looking out. Silva not able to manufacture anything, just has to pitch out.
Oh man, pitch out like 5 feet.
You usually see players get more aggressive than that, but I guess she knows it's a bogey. Beautiful touch shot from Kristin from the center rough. Ooh. What a nice framed up shot that was.
Silva's so good at these little approach shots.
That looked like a low-key run.
Yeah. The asters are blooming so nicely out here in the meadows of Fox Run.
Own with a perfect layup. Missy for a birdie. And yeah, just outside the circle. And that is unfortunately the typical result on this hole. You see so many rollaways here. Everyone's a little nervous when they throw their up shots because you never know if they're going to sit down. And the only flat spot is so close to the water that you end up throwing on the hillside more often than not. Great comebacker, though.
Wow. On those little wobbly rocks.
Yeah, look at her keep her balance.
Missy's so good at recovering and moving on to the next shot.
Silva taking her medicine there. Own and Kristin just going to tap in their pars. Did you say if anyone birdied?
There was one birdie. Natalie Ryan. Looks like her card didn't have stats, so we can't tell how long the putt is.
Still impressive.
I always like to know that.
Yeah. Silva going to drop off the lead with that bogey. Own leading the way now. 1 stroke over Silva, 3 strokes over her other card mates.
We just watched Holland play this hole, 265, but uphill plays more like 310. The green, the basket, pretty much the second half of this fairway is blind from the tee. You're just throwing at a spot out in nowhere land and hoping that your disc turns right the perfect amount. You want it to pan just a little bit and come in soft, though. There are some wiggly trees deep of the green that can be really tough to recover a putt from. The OB on the right side has a wall that kind of guards you, so as long as you're coming in low, you don't really have to worry about it.
What a great forehand.
Yeah, forehand, I think, is the safest play here if you've got that big distance.
Forehand's the safest play over the wiggly trees into nowhere land. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Delightful. Oh, yeah.
They asked me to write the caddy book for next year.
Oh, please. Oh my gosh, there'd be so many weird little drawings in it. Little Easter eggs. Kristin with a great forehand, going to be putting. Missy working the backhand, but it flexes out. She'll have a long look to save her par. That's why the forehand is the better play, as Madison was saying, or least chance for an OB stroke anyway.
Yeah. A lower risk. There was a left to right cross one here. It looks like it's really ripping as Silva steps up to the tee pad.
She gets a little lucky through that right side tree.
Yeah, she's been keeping everything pretty low. Not quite playing out into the sky as much as everybody else.
Which is typically a good play in the wind, but boy, is she getting close to some foliage. Missy, so close to a par save.
Super nubbed. Silva from circle 2.
Oh man, this is cool.
I mean, my favorite body English ever. The little tiptoes. Show it in slow motion.
What do you think that is? 55? 50?
No, I think she's like 45.
Really?
I thought she was
several steps before she was to the whiskers.
Oh, maybe.
Regardless,
She's far.
it was a great.
you're
putt.
right.
Yeah, she just makes them look short, right?
She does.
Yeah. Kristin from, it looks like inside the circle. It's banned. That was really fun body English from Silva. I feel like you don't usually see a whole lot of reaction from her, so it's always kind of fun when you do. Great birdie from Owen to maintain her one-stroke lead over Silva.
Yeah, Owen looking like she's a little tough to contend with today. Silva playing great, but Owen.
Think of the combined distance that Silva and Owen have already putted through 6 holes.
It's at least a par 5.
Long par 5. Disc golf is fun to watch today.
Hey, the Power Disc Golf Academy has a shout out for Jonathan Mulder. Jonathan used Ezra and Simon's lessons to increase his distance by 50 feet. He used my putting lessons to increase his C1 percentage by 25 or 30%. His confidence is way up. His improvements have allowed him to win his first tournament. Congrats to Jonathan. Keep going. If you want to improve your game, scan the QR code and use the promo code DGPT for an exclusive discount.
Hole 7, the par 5, 1,115 feet of so many different things happening. Get over the gap on your first throw. You can go right or left of the main tree. Avoid the one hot goose in the fairway. Lay up to this bubble on the left. Then try to go across this OB on your third. There's kind of a fairway it shows on the right side, but realistically, no one is taking that. You are either laying up to the bubble and playing for par or birdie or worse, or you just have to keep throwing the same shot essentially until you clear that last OB patch. They widen the OB on the left, tighten it on the right. You used to see a lot more hyzer and right side plays of that tree. Now we're seeing more sidearms, various flex and turnover shots on the left side. Sorry I didn't get the memo to be on this fairway during the flyover. I hope you had a nice time out there.
It was great watching all these frisbees fly over my head.
Yeah. Silva with a monstrous drive, and she always looks so casual doing it. That's so far.
Yeah, she has pretty impeccable form, really knows her discs well, and she can throw them extremely far.
So Kristin taking the right side. Ooh, that would have been in bounds by 20 feet or more
last year.
And she squeaks over by a foot. Missy with a nice looking turnover. It's good.
Well, did that vaporize through branches?
Yeah, it's hard to tell the perspective of it. I think a lot of women were still trying to work the right side, but if this is the configuration we're going to keep, left side is the play. It's way safer. There's more room.
Yeah, and if you don't make it in bounds, you at least cross a little bit in a more open area.
Across, yeah, usually not short side. Look how close Kristin is to OB here. But as long as you're... Oh,
she's on the short side here of the bubble.
Okay. I think she'll go from there, but she's, at least 50 feet short of where she'd prefer to land.
She might even be a little pinched on her run-up. Silva choosing just to lay up to the bubble.
Kind of too much of a layup.
Yeah, she'll
she'll
so
be fine,
far down there.
But I know.
It's like a weird distance for a layup.
It is. I wish we knew how far these two drives were.
Yeah, Missy just crushed this.
Yeah, so did Silva. Look at, neither of them know how to throw the layup. It's so far. Usually your second shot, you're going fairway or full distance drive or even to get closer to the edge of the bubble, but they don't want to mess around, meaning they have to mess around right now. This is probably, 380 feet down? 350?
No, 350
downhill?
I would say. Yep. They're
beautiful.
They're again shorter in the bubble than you want to be, but I think from the very edge of the stakes, it's like 315. 310.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. All right, Kristin does have a good run up. Puts it out to the right, is trusting the fade. That's looking great.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
You just want to make sure you error deep here, but these ladies aren't even thinking about that. They're just trying to put it right next to the basket.
Kristin pretty much parked for her first birdie of the round. Oh, and looking to stack another one up, going sidearm here. Awesome. Wow. These are all so good. Pretty amazing how they continue to just make this look easy.
What wind?
Actually does look like it's down right now, but you just
sure does.
never know.
Missy kind of crawling over that last stake. She's inside the circle, though, putting for birdie.
Everyone on the dance floor putting for birdie.
Yeah, this played as the fourth most difficult hole of the day. So they are
it's
making
hard.
it look easy.
It's hard, everybody. Own her first missed putt of the day. Missy to move back to even par. High left.
Kristin back to even. 1 of 8 birdies today. This was the hole with the most OB strokes, 20 OB strokes out of our 41 competitors.
Ouch.
It's
you gotta wonder how many of those are multiple OB strokes for the same competitor too.
It stacks quickly.
It can. 2 birdies on that hole is pretty good, but it's actually surprising that Own and Missy did not convert their putts there being inside the circle.
All of a sudden, there's a 5-stroke gap between first place and second place or third place on our card.
There you go. Honk.
Here is hole 8. 310 feet, plays more like 330 or 340 uphill. A big turning shot. The forehand could potentially work, but I think a backhand turnover is the better play because it has to go so far right. It's really difficult to get the disc to go far enough uphill and carry far right with the forehand. Even a flex shot doesn't help it. The only mistake you want to avoid here is yanking one right. That OB line is pretty tight on the corner, and accidentally throwing a thrower a little too straight.
Or into those branches that do not typically let you through. They just drop you straight OB. Beautiful turnover from Silva. That was her fission wave. Uh-oh. Here's what we're talking about.
Oh,
And
no.
they almost never let you through those branches.
Yeah, they filter you right down to the right. Owen's still going to try to work a forehand here. Probably going to park it.
It does. I mean, it feels safer, and she can get a circle 2 look with a really good shot, and it doesn't bring those branches into play. So I see the appeal.
Yeah.
Another long look for birdie from Owen, but she's made everyone we've seen so far. Wow, Missy clipping some branches, and they really put the disc nose up and take all of the speed off of it.
Yeah, it almost made it look overstable. Kristin trying to get up to the green, recover her bogey.
No problem, but it's going to put her 1 over par and at least 5 strokes out of the lead with only 10 holes left to play. Missy laying up. It's going to be another par for her.
There were only 6 birdies on this hole today. It's less than I would have thought.
It's a very, very demanding par 3. Oh, can't make them all, it turns out.
What I love is that she really does think that she can.
I know.
That's why she can do it.
You got it.
That's why she does it.
Turns out if you believe in yourself, you're going to do some really cool things.
Write that in your journals tonight, folks.
I know I will. I think that Silva matched her layer to her like outer and under layers.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
The green machine. Silva going to walk away with the only birdie on the card.
And the lead currently.
Mm-hmm.
One to go. And we aren't even manufacturing this drama. We're just watching it unfold.
Silva with the current hot round right now at 4 down through 8, tied with Annika and Sten, and for the lead.
Here we go, another very technical par 3. It might not look like it, but check out that OB on the right side that you have to challenge to be able to get inside the circle on this hole. You can try to go straight at it. It's easier said than done. You need a lot of power to get down there. It's slightly downhill, but it plays pretty close to 390, maybe 375. If you end up hyzering to the left, there's a bubble over there that's safe and might put you in circle 1 or maybe circle 2. Also, if you err on the left side, you might roll back in bounds, but this is what you see more often as you try to park the hole, challenging the right side.
Wow.
Fantastic shot.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
How about trusting the disc? Do you know what that was?
Proton trace.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Silva's ripping a distance driver there.
Which I think is probably the most common play. Owen has been throwing this racer more and more. It's cool to see her even trust this disc in the wind. She leaves it short, but safe is good. Par's great on this hole.
Yeah, pretty consistent tailwind here. There was a little bit of right to left action as well.
Oh. Look at Missy work this flexi guy. What? Wow. Who said, okay? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Wow, that was, it's obviously an ESP Thrasher.
That was huge.
Such trust in that shot to throw it directly at the out of bounds line on the left and let it flip in a tailwind.
Missy, right now, throwing farther than everybody on the lead card. We love to see it. Big distance Missy, in effect.
Kristin also going to find the inside of the circle. She went Opto Explorer, so fairway driver. Impressive.
I like that play.
Yeah, margin for error is just a little bit lower.
Yep. And here at Brewster Ridge and even at Fox, you're throwing a lot of fairway drivers off the tee. So kind of by the time you get to Sunday, you're like, oh, this is what feels comfortable. I'm going to do this again.
Silva for birdie.
Yes.
Oh my, she doesn't miss. That's 4 in a row for Silva. And we can't give you a slow mez every time, so just enjoy it for what it is. Kristin for a birdie. Nice.
There she is.
There she is. Back to even par. This hillside that we're looking at is my favorite place to spectate, I think, in the entire country, because you can see so many holes and it's just so pretty.
Panoramic views.
Yes.
Aww.
Missy, no. Hits her leg so gently. Whoops.
Yeah. There was only 6 birdies on this hole today, so you're not super bummed. That was such a good drive.
It really was. Hurts not to capitalize on that one. After 9 holes, Silva Saarinen leading the way. Let's have one last check-in. Holland Hanley still trying to make some moves. She's 1 down currently. Goes big off the tee as she likes to do on 11.
A lot of wind on this hole. Kind of coming left to right off the hillside. A little headwind. Made this shot kind of scary.
Yeah, she does a really good job managing the angle on that forehand and converts a very nice putt to move to 2 under on the front. 11. Yeah, Silva leading the way, own 2 back. Kristin, a lot of work to do if she wants to defend her titles, plural. 6 strokes. In fact, Missy sliding down, still in it. Annika and Sten making moves, Holland Hanley making moves.
Yeah, it's hard to call it this early. Fox Run is a wild place. There's a reason we do our championship Sundays here at this event.
I think we just crowned Silva. Let's not even do a back 9.
I agree.
She's looking good out there.
I'm rooting for her, but yeah, it's the back 9 is not easy, and especially the last handful of holes, a lot of stuff can happen when you have the swirly wind that we do have today. So come hang with us on the back 9. Let's watch what goes down at Championship Sunday, and it's always exciting out here at Smuggler's Notch. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're your 2 hot geese.
Honk.